in Dar was in 2013.
Okay.
And I cannot believe the city that I found this time around. Everything has changed.
Okay.
Dar es Salaam is moving at 120 km an hour.
Nice.
And I think it's accelerating, and Tanzania is really poised to become one of the greatest economies on the African continent. So really excited to see what I found in Dar.
Okay. So basically, you will tell your name.
Okay.
Your position.
Okay.
And what are you here in Tanzania on this conference?
Yeah.
And which organization are you coming from?
Okay.
What's the relation between this organization and this conference?
Okay.
Okay. Good. 1, 2, 3, go.
So my name is Mandla Nkomo. I'm the Chief Growth Officer for one of the initiatives of the CGIR called Excellence in Agronomy. My job is really focused on building partnerships for delivering CGIR science directly to farmers. So the reason why our institute is here is to really build on those partnerships. In particular, we are very keen to make sure that farmers on the African continent have got access to top quality scientific knowledge which they can use on their farms. And why is this important? There's a big event coming up in November in Nairobi called the Africa Fertilizer and Soil Health Summit. And we decided to use AFRIKA2023 to bring together people that are working on soil health and soil nutrition, and to really make sure that we've got a common agenda going to Nairobi. A common agenda about what are the issues, what are the solutions, and what are the options that we have to deliver for the next century healthy soils for Africa, which will then deliver food security for all the people.
What the intention do you see on this conference for African countries, African farmer, business who are doing in kind of irrigation, farming and all?
So I always say to people that as Africans, we achieve more when we gather around together and have a conversation. So the first thing that this conference does for African agriculture is to create the space for a conversation. But what is the conversation about? It's for us to express what are the challenges with African agriculture, what are the solutions, and how we can collaborate and work together to deliver solutions for all farmers. So whether we are talking about soil nutrition, whether we are talking about irrigation, whether we are talking about agro-processing, whether we are talking about markets, this is the place to have that conversation. It's our big bomber that we are going to use to communicate and set a strategy that we as Africans are going to own and take forward.
We've been doing this conference time to time. Do you think they are going to make effort and progress or just propaganda and political event?
So I share a slightly different view. I think that obviously with a conference like this with over 4,000 participants, all of us are coming for different reasons. But I can tell you this, I've been attending AGRF for a long time. And I can tell you that each AGRF leaves me with something new that I've learned, something that I can do differently, and most importantly is the networking and connections, because the challenges of Africa are beyond one person, one organization. They require all of us to work together, and I think this is the opportunity.
Nice. For the last time, anything you have for you, the one who are watching for you from the organization, from the country?
Well, I want to say especially to my brothers and sisters in Southern Africa that this is Africa's century. We need to wake up, get our hands dirty and transform this continent. And it's going to start by how we manage our farms, how we process our food, how we distribute it, and how we change the food security situation in Africa for ourselves and not for anybody else. It's Africa's time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to
Okay. My name is Inge Jacobs-Mata. I'm the Director for Water Growth and Inclusion at the International Water Management Institute, and I also head up the Southern Africa offices. We are here this week at AGRF to advocate for the role of science in agribusiness acceleration. So we do, my organization and our partners, we do a lot of work supporting agribusinesses in East and Southern Africa, including Tanzania. What that means is we provide scaling grants for businesses to scale different climate-smart agriculture innovations like solar irrigation, drought-tolerant seeds, integrated rice and agriculture, aquaculture, and there's an important role for us science organizations to play in providing technical assistance to these agri-SMEs. So that's what we are here to do this week, to advocate for the importance of science, evidence-based work in scaling different types of innovations.
Okay, we've been attending this conference time to time. And do you see this conference make the industry, the ecosystem moving forward, or it's just propaganda and political conference?
There's a little bit of rhetoric, I won't deny it, but there is an important role for dialogue. Right? That's how we move a system forward, by talking and sharing and getting consensus on some of these issues. This week we're hearing a lot about, not only is it important to scale an innovation, but we have to leave no one behind. So we have to look at how we bring farmers along. Scaling innovations, we've heard this week, is not just about the agri-SME, it's also about how do you make sure that farmers who really have the highest risk in the whole agri-food system, how do they also build their resilience and benefit from these kind of innovations and technologies. And then we also learned this week that it's not just about access to innovation, it's also about use. So if we want there to be a change in the agri-food system, we need to strengthen capacity of farmers and promote the use of different innovations. We also heard this week that it's about bundling. So not promoting a single technology or a single farming technique, but how do you bundle them in a particular context? We have very different agroecological zones in this region, and so it's important that what we deliver, what we are scaling, is relevant and fit for purpose.
Yeah, lastly, what's your call for the partner shareholder on the ecosystem of farming, livestock, at all?
So our call to action, I think, is about how we scale inclusively and in a coordinated manner. There are many, many accelerator programs in East and Southern Africa by different organizations, and that is what we want to see, but we need to have more coordination between organizations and different value chain actors. We also need to do this in an inclusive manner, so providing more targeted support to women and youth-owned agribusinesses.
Thank you. Anything lastly?
No, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
My name is Dr. Idil Ires. I'm the policy lead under the CGIAR project Ukama Ustavi Diversification in East and Southern Africa. Under this regional integrated initiative, we are looking to sustainably intensify and diversify maize production in the region. Now, this is an important challenge because of climate impact on agriculture. Research shows that if the changes in rainfall droughts continue as the way it is, maize production will decline by 50% until 2050. Now, this is a challenge for smallholder farmers, and similar situation is also there for rice production. So we as CGA are trying to support small and medium-scale agribusinesses, but also smallholder farmers with financing and technical assistance in shifting to more productive seeds, but also accessing to fertilizers and gaining access to best agricultural practices. Now, as part of our policy work, the most important thing here at AGRF is meeting policy stakeholders at all levels, from village to district level to national level parliamentarians. And of course, there is a lack of communication and coordination vertically between the local level and national level, but also across ministries horizontally. So here, as a research organization, we are trying to understand what policy coherence and harmonization issues are there, based on which we will be able to provide research-based evidence and policy recommendations to policymakers. So this is our task, this is our existence and purpose here. But at the same time, there are political issues, of course. Even if we are able to provide the governments with sound policy advice, they are not necessarily uptaken or implemented properly. So we offer a realistic approach, and we are trying to bring to AGRF our perspective of how we could potentially navigate through these political challenges as well to achieve a successful agri-food systems transformation.
What's your call to other policymakers in Kenya, Uganda, South Africa, and some other countries in order to make the ecosystem all in livestock or farming be on the same level?
All right, so in East Africa, including Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, agricultural challenges are similar because the region is affected by climate change in a similar way, and we are able to tap these similarities by achieving policy coherence on the regional level. So it would be very important for national policymakers to come together on a regional level and agree on value chain development and trade policies on the regional level, and then come back to their countries and implement them, and especially allocate resources such as investment from their national budgets. And of course there have been challenges in allocating national budget to agriculture. That has been around 45%, and CADAP was targeting 10%. So this is a first step. Following policy making on a regional level, the budget has to be increased, and following that, the government vertically on all levels have to be efficiently following up on implementation.
Anything more?
That's it.
Thank you so much.
Asante.
Asante sana. Oh,
No,